Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to mrchoi.com.au. This video is dedicated towards an auctioneer's running sheet. So in front of me here is our running sheet of what I use before I do an auction. I look at that and that gives me all the information I need to know to run an auction successfully. First one, obviously the vendor's details, because most of the time it's not my listing, it's the team's listing, so I need to know the vendor's names. The address always helps, the postcode, and the volume and folio number. Okay, so that helps obviously in the description area. The settlement that the vendor signed off on the authority, the reserve that the vendor signed off on the authority, and based on reserve and also based on market value, what we think market value is and feedback, here is the lowest vendor bid. So that's where I would place the lowest vendor bid, and that's been okayed with the vendor, and that's been strategized prior to the auction, and the highest vendor bid. So that's been okayed with the vendor as well. So we'll have a reserve, the lowest vendor bid that I'll place, and the highest vendor bid that I'll place. What being quoted to the marketplace in terms of a price range, here is justify the value general. So basically this is a general sale. So I put the average or the median house price in the area, say it's 1.1 million. So that would be a general. So there will be a line in the auction where I'll say homes in this area have been known to sell well in excess of 1.1. Keeping that in mind, blah, 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 blah. Then this is justify the value specific. So I have 2 or 3 addresses here and the prices that they sold for of homes that are somewhat similar to the house that we're selling. And during the auction, when I need some bids, I'll bring up these sales front of mind to the buyers just to remind them that there's value there. Any buyers that are interested in the house, okay, what boxes they tick, okay, and I'll talk about the boxes in a second. And reasons they want to buy, it's very important I know the reasons they want to buy, if it's their investor, first home buyer, downsizer, developer, etc. Because I will change my description and how I talk about the property during the auction based on reasons to buy for our buyers. Okay, very, very important. And any offers that they've made prior to the auction. These 3 out of 5 boxes is in one of my videos, which is called effective sales meetings. So have a look at that. But here is box 1 is they've made an offer. Box 2 is they've had a second inspection but not third inspection. Box 3 is a building or pest inspection. Box 4 is terms, changing terms. Box 5 is they're independently contacting the agent. We find when a buyer hits 3 out of these 5 boxes, they buy, and when they hit 5 out of these 5 boxes, they're the ones that buy the house. And it's interesting because most of the time we know who's going to buy the house before we even do the auction. The only reason why we do the auction is to find out the exact figure that they pay. The land size of the house, the squareage of the house, and the potential rental return, because once again I'll bring that up during my description and also during the bidding just to add value to the house. Unique selling points. So why buy this house over anything else? It backs onto the park. There's only 200 houses that are facing the water, and this is the only one up for sale. The last time one was up for sale was 3 years ago. The average house size in the area is 15 squares. This is 25 squares. So unique selling points. Why buy this house over anything else? So not 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, or anything like that. Why buy this over anything else? Once again, I'll bring that into my auction. Exclusions, what doesn't stay with the house? Introduction, so I always like to start off an auction with a little bit of a warm-up. So I'll be in my car just before the auction. I'll think about what can I say just to get people on my side, get some energy, get some laughter going. And so I'll think of something and I'll put that there. So that's the intro before I get into the legislation and the auction. Here's the description, but it's not really a description. What at this point, this area here is the reasons to buy the house. That's what it really is. It's not a description because the buyers already know the house. So when I talk about a house just before I open up for the bidding, I don't do a description. I say why you should buy this house over anything else, and that ties in with a unique selling point. So these are just dot points, and it's elaborated here, and I talk about location, obviously, and market, value, reasons to buy, interest rates, clearance rates, returns, and developers moving into the area, etc., etc. So that's our running sheet, somewhat comprehensive, and I find that this gives me all the information I need to run an effective auction. I hope you enjoyed and you got something out of that. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.